Hello, everyone, and welcome to the New York Socialites podcast. There is a lot going on in the world right now, like a lot, and we have a lot of thoughts on what's going on. I'm Stephanie. I'm here with my oldest friends, Rachel and Gretchen is actually my sister, if you can believe that. But yeah, we've been talking about everything that's going on in the world since we were babies, and we're ready to keep that conversation going today with Mom Talk. And what is Mom
Oh my
Talk?
God.
Right.
What is soft swinging? Who is Taylor Frankie Paul?
Who
All right.
is Jen Affleck, and is she or is she not related to Ben Affleck?
Apparently not. All right. So I do think among all of us, I have been most involved for the longest, but I think Stephanie is the newest expert, it seems, on Mom Talk.
I don't know if I'd call myself an expert. I just find I started watching the Hulu show, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, in season 2. And I did start from season 1. I went back and like watched it all. So I just recently hopped on board this whole thing.
Okay.
So Gretchen, I think
Now, Gretchen,
Well,
you're probably
have
the
you been following the
expert.
TikToks like right the way along, like ever since
oh no,
like COVID?
no, I
Okay.
have not. So I'm definitely of all of us, I'm probably the longest partaker, but I am not. But I do follow them on Instagram now. I'm not on TikTok, so I
Okay.
can't say I know all the TikToks, but I do follow a couple of them on Instagram now, and I have since I started watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I did originally put it on thinking it was a documentary about Mormon people, um, back
I mean,
a couple
in a
years ago.
way,
It
it
kind of
is.
is. Yeah, it kind of is. Um, but then I was just really intrigued and confused by all of the binaries. And I was also very intrigued, or not binaries, but like, yes, in some ways, like the contradictions. And also, I was very, I went in thinking I was gonna like not like Taylor by the way she was introduced and stuff. And then I like ended up really liking her. So I'm like, this is kind of interesting. So that's why I was like, I want to see what's going on more. So in one of my Instagram holes, I dug in a little bit deeper, but I'm not an expert by any means. So yeah.
Well, I am also not an expert. I kind of like did a cursory watch of the first season. Like I had it on in the background a lot, and I was like, these women are fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been really watching the second season. I put it on when my husband has like second screen stuff to do in the evenings,
Mm-hmm.
and he's kind of like having it on in the background. And 4 episodes into the second season, he was like, I don't understand. I thought these people were in Utah, not Long Island. And I was like, no, no, they're saying mom talk,
Yeah,
not mom
no.
talk. He
Oh,
thought that they were like
mom talk.
in
That's
the
so funny.
Hamptons.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
Oh my
funny.
God.
we're a big Mormon
I
presence in
I
the
kept
Hamptons.
thinking that too at first. I was like, why are they talking about Montauk? Why Long Island? And then I was like, oh yeah, Mama
Yeah.
Talk.
Mom
Okay,
talk.
okay,
Yeah, I had to explain it,
yeah.
Yeah. It
but
is.
yeah.
So I was also really intrigued by the whole soda thing. I'm like, so wait, hold on.
Oh my gosh. Yes, because they can't, so LDS members can't drink coffee or
Mhm.
tea, right?
Or
So,
alcohol, right?
or
Yeah.
But a
alcohol.
lot of these
But
people do.
yeah, but coffee or tea, like I feel like that's my bottom line. Like I could give up alcohol, but coffee, tea,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
rough.
I'm
Like
not saying that I could give up alcohol either. I mean, I guess I could, but like I also feel like
yeah,
that's yeah, coffee would be a no go.
of the three, the last to go would be
Yeah.
Because if
coffee.
you're
For sure.
drinking the soda, are you not having as much
Exactly.
or more caffeine as you would be if you were having coffee? And also,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
what is going on with these people's teeth? Like,
Yeah. Well, they all use
I
straws.
know, I
Wait, okay, so
know.
let's back up. So we gotta
all use
reorganize our
straws.
line here. They all use straws.
Rest easy, dentists of Utah. They're using straws.
Is an Aperol Spritz basically a soda? Because
It
I
has
feel it
soda
is.
in it.
It definitely is sparkly.
It
Okay.
does. It does have soda
So
water in it.
let's back up. So Joseph Smith.
Oh
No,
boy, let's back it all the way up.
We're backing
Oh,
all the
okay.
way
wait, we
up.
talked about this
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
show last week, and I was informed by my husband, who is from Elmira, New York, that where Joseph Smith is from is Palmyra, New
Yes,
York.
yes. I actually,
Wanted to share
weirdly
that
enough,
tidbit.
What is
Palmyra,
Palmyra? Okay, I know Elmira, but like,
it's
what
kind of
is
near Syracuse, I
Palmyra?
think. So
It
I was actually,
is.
weirdly was watching Alto Nights this weekend. I don't recommend, but it's a
What's
movie on
that?
HBO this week. And
Okay.
it's interesting because um, I'm getting to a point, I promise. But Robert De Niro, it plays both lead characters, and you're like, why?
Oh my God.
Yeah, but
He
okay.
he's no Michael B. Jordan as far as you're concerned, is what I'm getting.
No, just like
No
this
one
is
but
totally
Michael B. Jordan
unnecessary.
is
Like I'm like this
Michael
is
B.
not
Jordan.
necessary. They could just be like they're supposed to be two different people. They're not related. They're like it's
Oh,
just
so
yeah.
not twins.
No, no. Um, yeah. So,
Okay.
anyways, but in that movie, at one point, like there's like one kind of comedic scene where they're driving up from New York City to Albany somewhere, or like really, really North Country, New York State, and they pass through Palmyra, and the guy's like, "Oh, Palmyra, that's where Joseph Smith is from." And like Robert De Niro character is like, "So wait." He's like, "You're making this up," and he's like a gangster, and he's like got really mad at the guy. He's like, "So you're telling me Joseph Smith started here and then moved out to the desert and started the Mormon?" Like, he got really mad. I'm like, "Yes, he's actually right. That's how it happened." So
That's
yeah,
They
actually what
must have been going to
happened.
Buffalo,
Yeah.
I guess, if they passed
yeah,
through Palmyra on their way north.
yeah, yeah. Somewhere.
Sorry.
No, yeah.
New York
It's
State Geography Corner.
yeah, yeah,
We
yes.
know, we know
But
geography.
so but yeah, so he did start in upstate New York, Palmyra, but anyways, it's just so the point going into Mom Talk, what you're supposed to understand is that these are women who are bucking the norms of Mormonism. They're supposed to stay in their house and be quiet housewives, and that's not what they want to do. They want to make their own money. They want to be able to speak whatever they want to say. They want to support each other. That's in theory what's going on here, right? So, and then
That
we
would be
get
like
into
the
the
Mom Talk
show.
vision statement.
Yeah, yes, yeah. And so then we get into the show, and you're like, oh, this is really messy. So, and I
So
think,
messy.
there's probably a lot of like internal, you can tell with everyone, there's kind of a little bit of internal family trauma happening, and they're all kind of
A
expressing
little
it in
bit
their
is an
own.
understatement.
Yeah, yeah.
I am
Yeah.
traumatized every time there's a scene with like the families of the Mom Talk
Oh my
women.
God. Taylor's mom and dad, like,
Taylor's stepdad
oh my God,
is
he's awful.
a
He's like,
fiend.
you're a
Oh,
slut. Yeah. Oh
slut
my God.
shaming his daughter. It's
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
also,
awful. And the way she's internalizing it, I just want to
And I'll be
hug
like,
her
it's
and be
okay
like, if she wants a hug, and be like,
if she wants a
just be like,
hug.
no. Like, if I don't want
She
to,
can
like,
consent to a hug.
she can
gotta
consent to a
consent
hug
to
or
that.
not, but I want to, like, tell her, you're not a slut, you're not
Yeah,
bad, there's nothing wrong with you for having sex with, your boyfriend getting pregnant and having a kid out of
yeah,
wedlock.
No,
Like,
like all of those
there's
things
nothing
are
wrong with her.
fine.
yeah, yeah.
Some of the other behaviors,
Well,
possibly a little suspect.
Yeah.
yeah,
And also with just like going back to what Gretchen was saying a bit, from what I understand about the LDS church, the women are expected to be more in the home, and people get married very young because they're not supposed to have sex before marriage, so they typically get married on the younger side than like more secular people do, and then they tend to like, I think the message from the church is that having more kids, like more is more, like
I
that's
think
good.
that's kind of one
So,
of the like core tenets of the church is like make more
mhm.
Mormons. And that's
yeah,
why when they had that like split, there was like a schism between like the polygamy people and the non-polygamy people. And the
Yeah.
polygamy people were like,
Uh,
well, if the idea is to make more Mormons, polygamy is a great way to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
true.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like a
True.
numbers game for these people.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of these, so like all of the women on the show got married relatively young and had
Yeah.
children relatively young, or actually very, very young,
Very
like in the case of
young.
Michaela,
And
having,
Jen,
she
poor
had a
Jen
kid when she was like,
Affleck. She's
I
25
know
and she's
she,
three deep.
I know.
Oh my
And
God.
I mean, all of
I
them like that.
know.
Michaela is 25 and is not pregnant with her fourth, right? Um,
That
yeah.
is true.
Um,
Yes. I was shocked. At first I thought it was her third, and then I was
yeah.
like, oh my
Yeah.
God, it's actually her fourth
Yeah.
kid.
And so I think so let's just get like the general feel like what were your feelings going in and coming out of this um series like after season 1 maybe or both seasons.
My takeaways are evolving because I think that like there's just so much more to say. And what I do want to say is that like I'm glad that we're having a kind of like a meta conversation about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and like the
Yeah.
things that it's bringing up. I don't know that that was intentional, and I don't know that it's totally ethical for like Hulu to be using these women as like
Mhm.
social guinea pigs because like I was under the impression that I was going to be watching like a reality show because of like how far into mom talk these people are. I expected them to be more like professional reality stars, but
Oh.
like Mike White, they're
Mm.
not. Like these people, I don't know that they've ever seen some of them. I don't know that they've ever seen a reality show before. And so
That's true.
like
Yeah.
It's a good point.
like
Yeah.
I don't know that they understand the project, and that makes me question the ethics of like the people who make this
Yeah.
show because that
Hmm.
is one of the reasons that it's fascinating to me. And more than once when I was watching it with my husband, he would look up from his like computer and be like, "These people need Jesus," which is such a
And
funny
they're Mormon.
takeaway. They're
Yeah, I
Mormon.
know.
He's like,
Well, there was one point in the second season where Taylor's sister says to her, like, I think you need Jesus, like her in Dakota or something. And I think she
she
was
does,
saying it
she
like
says, "Give it to
serious.
God."
Yeah, yeah. And at one point she's like, you guys need Jesus. I think, but she's saying it in a serious way, I think.
I mean,
So
she's
yeah.
right. Like these
Yeah, I know.
people, like I mean, whatever, go your own way. Like I support
Yeah.
whatever deity you believe in, but like more often during this show, I was like, these people need parenting.
Yeah.
Like
They
even
need
though
they
they're
need
Hmm.
therapy.
adults,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
need
Hmm.
therapy, they need
Yeah.
parenting,
Yeah.
they need financial literacy.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Steph? Do you want to go?
Um, yeah, like going into it, I think I did think it was a documentary. I first tried to watch it when it first came out, and then I realized it wasn't a documentary, and I like, for whatever reason, didn't keep watching. But then, I think it was actually my husband that turned it on, and he likes to have, something going in the background sometimes when he's doing work. And so I was surprised to be like find the women on the show to be interesting and compelling, but in like a different way than I expected. I felt like there's this like interesting mix of like, personalities. And I mean, the only reality TV that I really watch is like 90 Day Fiance or like Married at First Sight. So this is kind of like the first time I ventured out from that, but I found them to be both, it felt like they were very different than like me and the people I know because of, some of their religious beliefs. But then I also felt that they were dealing with a lot of issues that are similar to what me and other people I know are dealing with. Um So it was like it's been an interesting journey for me because some things that happen are just like feel very foreign to me. And then some I feel like I can relate to. Um, and I also, like to Rachel's point too, I felt like a lot, like they're just, maybe, I don't know if it's just like me being like older than them at this point, but I felt like there was just like a lot of like, I don't want to like judge or like put anyone down, but like sort of like immaturity or like lack of self-awareness or like something going on.
I think that's genuine though. Like they
That
are very young.
They are super
it
young,
okay.
and I think so. One thing that I appreciated about the show, and the reason why I kept watching it basically after a couple episodes was I used to watch The Bachelor. I didn't really like it. I've watched a couple other reality shows and stuff. And I think what makes reality shows so frustrating is that people lack so much self-awareness and that you're seeing them do something. Everyone can see it. You can see it at home and you're like, "What are you doing?" And I think one thing I
Yeah.
appreciated that really felt fresh to me was Taylor, for all her faults, did was able to be self-reflective and say, "Oh, I hurt her." Like Whitney said at one
Hmm.
point, like, "I came to you guys with this big thing, and you said, at the end of my big thing, you said I had a miscarriage or something," which, it was supposed to be my time to like talk. We could talk about whether or not that was right on Whitney's part, whatever, but Taylor was like, "Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you for telling me." And like,
Yeah, I noticed that too. I felt like with Taylor especially, like there was some
yeah.
self-reflection going on, and I was like, I felt like I was rooting for
Yeah. Yeah.
her in a way that
And yeah.
felt like
So,
genuine. Like I was like, I really, good
yeah.
for her. Like I feel like she's grown.
And to me, it almost
But
feels
yeah.
like because of that, and because of the fact that probably a lot of these women didn't have childhoods too, in some ways, because you look at like a lot of their childhoods, they got married very young, they had children very young. They didn't get a chance to grow up. You're almost looking at a group of women who are like discovering the fact that they can live something beyond what their parents have lived or what they were thought they had to do. So it's almost like a weird sociological study where they're becoming self-reflective and they're becoming a little reflective of the world. And some of them are more religious than others, it seems. The religion doesn't come up that much. It's more like the standards of the religion, I would say, than the religion, except for like, I know Whitney will be like, Joseph Smith said um,
They can
that we don't
probably
drink
all do
alcohol.
that.
Oh,
Like
for sure. But like,
I feel like
I
Whitney
think,
does it when it's like convenient for her to like
yeah,
have a like a pull quote
Yeah.
yeah.
moment.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I think,
She's learning
Yeah.
to play the
Like when
game.
she's mad at someone else for
yeah.
drinking, but she like openly drinks
But
it.
she doesn't
Yeah.
drink, but she does ketamine sometimes, apparently.
They are
Um,
doing some ketamine in Utah.
yeah, apparently.
I
But
know.
yeah,
I was fascinated by that
so it's
too.
like this really interesting, like very, very traditional religious upbringing. At the same time, like they're all kind of seeking attention in very modern ways through the internet and trying to make a business out of that and become more independent, women, supposedly. And it's like all crashing, and they have like, and some of them, do lack a lot of self awareness. Some of them are very poorly behaved. Some of them don't really know how to handle attention or the media or whatever, and they often fight. And but you're right, they're so young, like at that age, fighting I think was so much easier to do because everyone's just like, you know I don't know, in a different spot in their lives. But yeah, so I think it's kind of an interesting show. But
Yeah, a lot of them don't have fully formed frontal lobes yet.
Most of them, right?
Because that happens when you're like 25, right?
Yeah, and a lot of them are like
So,
just 25. And then like the
yeah.
men who won't have fully formed frontal lobes, we know now until they're like 40, like God help
oh my
us.
god,
Someone like
yeah,
God help us
yeah,
these
all.
men need
they need
Jesus
Jesus. Yeah, they're
or
they're saying
less
that.
Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. They need to read. Are they actually reading the Bible? They only read the Book of Mormon.
No, they
That's
read the
it.
Book of Mormon, which is
I
apparently
don't think they're
it's
reading the
not the
Bible.
same.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Like it's like a commentary
No.
on the Bible. Like
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there's some Bible in there because like they talk about
Yeah.
God and they talk about Jesus and like they're aware of all of that, but
Yeah. But and then yeah, and
yeah.
then poor Layla is black, and they didn't really accept people in the Mormon Church until like what 30 years ago who are black, and
I mean, poor Layla for
in
so
general.
many
Seriously?
Yeah,
reasons,
I know,
girl.
Oh my
I know.
God.
Yeah,
Like
she has
if
two kids. She's
there
like
are
22. Like, yeah,
and
And she's
just
just got divorced. Yeah,
she's had so
she's,
much
yeah.
work done, but then like her hair is like I'm not here to comment on people's hair except to say that if there is not a person who does textured hair in Utah, go out of Utah and
yeah,
get your hair done. Like
yeah.
you are a wealthy TikToker now. You don't have to put up with this Mormon bullshit. Like you're
Well,
on
Yeah.
television and sometimes they shoot the back of your head. So
well, that was funny. Yeah, because like I guess they like zoomed in on her head in season 2 or something, the back of her head when it was like
it was
her.
mean. It was a
It was
mean
me.
thing to do.
They're me.
Oh, I missed
Yeah,
that.
but
I missed
also
that.
it's probably hard because like yeah, I mean, now this becomes a plot point. My dog is not happy that I'm doing other things right now. Um, but I know this was a plot point in season 2, but like that one girl, Jessie, she's the only one who works outside of the home, right? And she has the hair
Hmm.
place. And so they all, and so she's constantly doing their hair. And so they might feel like they need to go to her. And obviously she specializes in extensions. And so she's going to do one type of kind of thing, you know?
They
Um,
all look exactly the same, and I didn't realize why until that came up in season two, and I was like, oh, of course they all look identical because she's doing all of their hair and making them all look
hmm
absolutely
hmm
indiscernible. They're actually that TikTok
Yeah.
that you sent me this week was so funny
Yeah.
about how Jesse and
I know.
Demi look exactly alike. And then they had
Yeah.
the audacity in the TikTok to have their hair completely different.
I know.
And I was
I
like,
know.
like what? Like
Yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And it is kind of interesting 'cause, yeah, at first I'm like they look a lot alike. The key is Jesse has blue eyes, Demi has brown eyes. That's how you remember.
I'm
But
never ever
yeah.
gonna watch
Okay.
closely enough to be able to tell you what color eyes any of these people have.
Oh, I think I know what color eyes most people have.
I have
Am
such
I
bad
wrong?
eyesight.
I
I
Oh,
would have to watch it with
don't.
my glasses on to tell you.
oh, okay,
And
okay,
I'm not
yeah.
going to.
I still have pretty good eyesight, knock on wood, but I was told I should have been going to the optometrist for the last 20 years, I guess, and I didn't know. So a
Who,
doctor
what?
told me that you're supposed to go to the optometrist like every year, even if you don't have bad eyesight, just to check on the structure of your eyes and stuff. Uh,
Oh,
No one ever told me
yeah,
that.
yeah. So
I
I've
mean, I
literally never,
do.
All
I
right.
didn't
yeah,
realize that was part of it either.
yeah, I literally never have. Maybe
Hmm.
once when I was in high school, but yeah, so it's just kind of, but it is interesting because they all, and one girl, yeah, at the beginning was like, yeah, everyone says we look alike, but we just go with what's on trend, and that's so that, and we all end up looking alike. Um, but
Yeah, it's giving very beige
yeah, yeah,
mom
mm-hmm,
vibes.
mm-hmm,
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, very beige, very kind of,
yeah,
basic. And I don't mean that in like a judgmental way. It just
yeah,
is what like you see on social
I
yeah,
heard
media,
it
I know.
referred to as the vanilla girl aesthetic.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Is I like that. But like it makes a lot of sense. But also I think
Yeah.
as someone who puts their personal life on the internet to sell things, you probably have to appeal to the most amount of people, right? So that's probably what they're doing. And like how much of that influences their lives, it's kind of hard. Um, but yeah, I do think there's some very unhealthy relationships on this show,
Oh my
obviously.
God. I mean, are
Um,
there any
yeah.
that you would identify as a healthy relationship?
I think Macy and her husband seem to be okay, but we don't see much of them.
Mace.
Um, Macy's the one with the blonde
The,
hair and
the
has like the
blonde
beauty.
straight hair.
Yeah, she's like the
Yeah.
tallest one, I think. With like
Yes.
long, like not
Yeah.
Whitney.
Really
Yeah, like Whitney.
pretty.
And she's
Yeah.
friends with Michaela and Whitney. And I think Michaela seems like it's semi-healthy, but she also got with him when she was like 16. So like I can't say if that's healthy in general. So
Is
I don't
Michaela the
know.
other swinger?
No, no.
Okay.
Okay, we did pull up.
No, that's
That's Miranda.
Miranda.
Okay.
Miranda.
That's
Okay.
All right,
Miranda.
we're
All
gonna go through
right,
the
you
people. All right,
guys.
okay. For Rachel, ready? Okay,
Oh
Taylor.
boy. Okay, I know who Taylor is. That's the one.
Brown
I know
hair.
who
Oh, it's always
Taylor
straight.
and
She's.
It's always
Jen
usually
because she's
straight.
small.
Can we
Yeah.
just agree Taylor is basically the main
Yeah.
character,
Yes.
even though everybody's trying to like fight her
Yeah.
for main character
I mean, she
position?
stands in the
Like,
front of the like pyramid in the show
Yeah.
intro, so that's
Yes.
how
Yes.
we know.
mhm.
That's exactly. Jen is small. You're right.
Jen is small, so I know who she is.
So Jessie is the hairdresser with the brown hair and the blue eyes.
Okay.
Demi looks like Jessie, and she's married to the older guy, and she has brown eyes.
Yes. Okay.
And
I feel
then
like I know
there's
who her husband is better than I know who she is.
yeah. And then there's
Yeah.
Layla. We know who Layla is, and then there's Michaela, who had the chronic skin problem, and she talked about a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah,
in my head, she looks so much like Leighton Meester.
exactly. She's just Leighton Meester. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right. I didn't even
Yeah.
think of that. I was like, I know she looks like someone.
Yeah.
That's who she looks
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
Exactly. And then
I
there's
mean,
Macy.
she is fascinating.
She is fascinating. I think that they should be getting her more airs
She
because she
Or not.
Yeah.
I'm
is.
afraid
I
of
don't
what.
know. It's hard to know
what happened. Yeah, I
Well,
know.
I mean, I just, we'll get to that. Anyway,
Yeah.
Macy is,
I probably worry the most about
Yeah, I
her.
worry a lot
Yeah.
about her. Macy's very good friends with
Michaela.
Michaela. She has the long blonde hair. She's the one who owns Baby Mama.
is she the one that
Who
wrote
is
the
like
book?
Vitamins.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Yes.
Macy.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
And Demi was really jealous
yeah,
of that.
Demi was definitely the villain. Whitney's the one who changes her hair all
In
the
season
time
2.
and might have a gay husband. I'm sorry, I don't mean to say that.
Wait,
but
Whitney's the one that had the
Headband girl.
baby in season 2.
Yeah, and she always had the band.
Yeah. And she has shorter
Yeah.
hair
She's
now.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
So she doesn't look
She has
just
red
like
hair
them,
at
the
one
rest of
point.
them.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
And her husband is a little femme. It doesn't mean he's gay, but he
A
comes off
lot
little
of the
femme.
husbands, including
There's
Taylor's
a lot of-
stepdad, I'm pretty sure need
Yeah.
to identify some things. Also, I kind of feel that way about Layla. I just feel like
Layla might be, and Layla
I
needs
think
to explore more.
Layla might just be gay.
Yeah.
I could totally see that
I can
actually.
see that too.
It didn't occur to me, but I feel like, yeah,
I can see that.
I think you're right.
Um,
Yeah.
and then, what's the Affleck name? He's
Jen.
her husband.
Oh,
is
Zach.
So
Zach.
apparently they're not related to the Afflecks. Jen just heard that once as a joke and thought it was real, and now they're arguing.
And
about
like
it,
that's why
so-
she married him.
She's like, perfect. I'm gonna meet the
Great.
Afflecks.
I'm gonna be sisters-in-law with J-Lo. It's also Jennifer Affleck.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, but
Wait,
yeah,
okay, and then
so-
the woman that looks like the Texan Barbie doll with like the
she's
mermaid hair.
season
What's her
2.
name?
Yes.
Season 2. So
Okay,
she came
not-
season 2. Miranda. Her name's
Miranda. Okay.
Texan
Miranda
Barbie doll's a good
Michaela.
way. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's a good way of
That's a good way
describing
to
her.
describe her. And she was one of the
Physically,
swingers.
yeah.
Yes.
And I do like her too. She seems like she defended, at least stepped in to defend people when needed. Like that scene at the Halloween party in season 2 just really got me. Really
I
got me.
was
That was
dying.
so
I know, yeah.
messy.
He's like, say it to the camera, and she's like, I've already talked about it. And like they're all just like
Oh my
in
God.
like costume.
She's wearing like the
Yeah,
claw
yeah.
hands
Like
and
Chase,
stuff.
you need to get out of here. And then, like at one point, like Chase like gently touches Demi. He's like, "Where's your husband?" Like, and she goes,
He ran up those
He
stairs.
like taps her and she's like, he touched
And then
She's like, Brett, I've been
yeah, and then
assaulted.
he's like,
Yeah, it
"No."
was
And
a
then
lot.
Jordan, Jesse's husband, was like, take accountability, like at the
He
top
like
of his
yelled
lungs.
it in the lawn.
And then
Is that when the
yeah,
They
cops came and
did.
Jesse was like, "Hey
do
guys,
you
do
wash
you
your
watch
girl?
The Secrets of
Yeah, they're
Mormon
like,
That
Wives?"
no.
police officer
And
was
the
like,
cops were like,
no. I mean, can you imagine being a police officer in Utah where you're, I'm pretty sure, not allowed to drink in this county,
Yeah.
having to break up parties where people are having like a domestic on the lawn and no
Yeah.
one is drinking? Like,
you'd be like a permanent
Oh my
like
God.
resident assistant in college. Like you would just be like it, like that
Yeah,
vibe,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
like no one's supposed to
Oh,
drink or like do
yeah,
oh my
drugs, and
God.
like you're just like
yeah.
constantly confronting that
But
somehow. I
like,
don't know.
what even, like, how do things get this escalated without alcohol? Because like at these like parties, are people like really not drinking? Are we to believe that there is no alcohol?
I think it depends. Yeah.
That's that's a really good question. And that was like something that hit me too. I was like, okay, like if they're not drinking and they're not even drinking
But they are
coffee,
drinking Celsius
like
at like a really alarming rate.
Yeah.
yes, I'm like people can't escape like their draw to like some sort of like substance, like whether it's like soda caffeine or soda sugar or ice cream sugar, like we're gonna find
It
a
might be the
way.
drama that
And
is like
No, it's the drama.
satisfying that like,
that's also,
you know, you need
yeah.
those hormone
Yeah.
receptors to receive some stuff sometimes and like, you know,
Yeah.
you should
I
be
feel like, yeah, because it's like they almost didn't have the freedom to explore themselves as young adults or as teenagers. And so
Hmm.
now they don't know what to do with themselves. They're probably, and then there's all this attention on them, and some
Yeah.
of them have money.
Now they're like
Yeah.
adults, they have kids, and they're like, wait, I have like money, I have some, like they always talk about clout, which I think is really like an interesting way to put it. Like so and so's a clout chaser, or like whatever. And like they know that they have this like platform and like some power compared to other women and compared to their husbands and stuff. And it's like they don't know what to do with it, but they're starting to like self-reflect a bit more
But
and
I'll,
think about like where how they can occupy the world in a way that they didn't see
That's so
before.
generous. You're being
no,
so
well,
generous to these people who are like, I am gonna manufacture drama wearing lobster claws at a party with no
no,
alcohol.
I
Well, I
actually,
think that's
no,
part
I
of it
actually do think
too.
that some of this is not manufactured because I do think the men feel threatened. And so they
Oh, they
have to come
absolutely
in
do.
and be
Yes.
like, oh no, your girlfriend or wife or whatever told me that she had a dream about me and I didn't tell her that I was in love with her or whatever. And so they have to start um like reclaiming power in whatever way they can. And that
Yeah.
becomes
Like the men
they're
are
so
super
messy. Like the
threatened.
men are very messy.
I feel like,
And
Like
oh my
Zach is
God,
like
he's like the
the
most insidious out
worst.
of all of them. And like,
Yeah.
this is what made me feel like a little bit icky about the ethics of the way that this show was put together is that like you don't see on a lot of these reality shows like a truly defenseless person being gaslit in real time. Like even going back to like something like The Hills or whatever, where like a lot of people's behavior was like whatever, and there was like catty fighting and people were petty. Like this is like he's like committing a crime. Like it's and like we're just filming it and then we're watching it and like I just I don't know. I don't know about Zach, but I feel like she needs he needs Jesus and she needs parenting and I feel very bad for Jen Affleck.
The so the you said he was committing a like a
Because he
crime.
is kind of I like I don't know at what point it, like gaslighting and coercive behavior like
Yeah, like very coercive,
because
controlling behavior.
he
from Zach.
Yeah. And like I don't like obviously he says that like he's open about like he left medical school because she had more potential for earning than he did as a doctor. I don't know if that's true. I don't really know that like he would have made it through medical school and
Yeah, that
residency
seems
and
like a
internship.
dubious excuse.
I really don't know that he's smart enough to be a doctor.
It seems like a very, yeah, it seems like a very calculated thing to say because I don't think he's actually okay with her making more money or being the breadwinner or
But I
anything.
do think that
Um,
he understands very well that all of her assets that are accumulated during the marriage are on the table in a divorce. So,
yeah, true that. Yeah, there's definitely no
So
prenup
Jen, we're
there.
talking about all of her
yeah, we're
rich
talking
wealth.
about
Yeah,
Yeah, Jen and Zach.
how Zach was
yeah.
Yeah.
never going to make it as a doctor anyway, and he made the right decision supporting her, mom talk career, but also like what is going on?
What is
And like
going
why
on?
is
Like
no one
he
helping her?
freaked out. I know, that's what bothers me because like she also talked about like the power differential there where like his family are like doctors, his dad is a surgeon, his grandpa's a surgeon, blah blah blah, and her mom is a cleaner at the same hospital where his dad is a surgeon. So there's definitely like a power and like money differential like going into the marriage. So he felt for sure like he,
Would maintain the power probably.
Oh, that's
would maintain the
obvious.
Yeah.
power. But yeah, and here she is, out earning him. She's more famous than him. She seems a lot more charismatic than him, to be honest, just like more of an interesting person. And he is not handling that well at all. And like the way he was treating her, I think it was the after that situation in Vegas where there were like Chippendales or
Oh my
something,
God.
which I'm not even sure she saw the Chippendales. It was
No, she
just like
didn't go. She
something.
didn't go.
Yeah.
She
And
took a
he was
picture with
saying
them.
like he
Yeah.
doesn't want to be with someone who is that like immoral and this and that and this and that. I mean, that is so mean and manipulative and
Yeah.
awful. Like just
And then they were like,
awful.
let's try to recreate this situation with some people dressed up as Chippendales and then possibly one actual stripper to give the choreography.
That was at the
Who
Halloween
was
party,
that
Yeah.
guy?
right?
Was
Yeah.
he
Yeah. He was
He was an
he was like a
actual
dance
yeah.
instructor?
Chippendale, I
Okay.
Yeah.
think.
No, he was from the
Yeah.
Chippendales. He was like the
Okay.
MC from the one
From
they
the
saw.
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
Chippendales.
Yeah. Oh
They were
yeah.
like, we got to bring this guy back. He has
Yeah.
no dialogue in this
Someone
scene,
had
Yeah.
to
but
front that
Yeah.
performance. I know.
why? And then they were
I
like, later they were calling it a prank. And I was like, oh, no. Like, not only do Mormons not know what swinging is, they don't know what a prank is. Like, they don't know
Yeah.
what, like, a ham-fisted
Yeah.
manipulation of plot, like, hastily done by the producers of a reality show is. There should be a better word for it.
No. No.
Like,
They
and,
don't.
and I think they clearly, I don't know. That was a lot. And at one point they were
I
like, "Oh well, Zach said you were gonna go to it together for exposure therapy. We thought we were just doing a funny bit." And then I guess they told Jen that they were gonna do it, and then Jen was like, "Oh, that's so funny!" Like in the playback video, and
like
like
a
I love
million times.
that.
She was like, I love it.
Yeah, I know. And then like she told her husband that they never told her. But honestly, I have been in her situation a little bit, and I understand that. Like I know why she was like, "Oh, I don't know what they're talking about," because she was afraid of him, and she's
Oh,
afraid of them
yeah.
too. She's afraid of both of them because like I think she's afraid of being the not fun friend because she also can get kicked out of her group that helps her make her
Which
money.
is her career.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
and
It's like musical chairs
yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Like
And
yeah.
so, but then she's also afraid of her husband. So I understand why she might have a lying problem, but I understand in that situation why she was afraid of like telling both of them no. I get that.
I think you're right. I don't think she
Yeah.
has a lying problem. I think that she's constantly on the defensive in all of her relationships with her husband
Yeah.
and with her friends
Yeah.
and
And she's trying to people
Yeah.
And
please
she's
like
just trying to
so
survive.
many women do. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she's so
Oh my
young. She's
God.
so
But
Yeah.
also,
young.
did this situation not like we didn't see the full scene in the hair salon where they were
No,
like,
we didn't.
we're gonna do this quote unquote prank or whatever, which is what makes me think that the producers of the show were like, you know what was great last season where there was a Chippendales thing and Zach freaked out and the police got called and
Yeah.
then we used it in all the marketing. Let's run that back.
Yeah.
Chances are he has not grown
Yeah,
as a person and
Yeah.
we're
100%.
gonna see another freak out. So let's make it
Let's do
seem
it.
like so I don't think that we should
100%.
be I don't want to defend Jesse and Demi, but I don't think that we can 100% blame them for having this idea. This seems like a
No.
contrivance of the show itself.
This does seem like a
It
producer
does. It
thing.
seems like the
Yeah. They
And
producers,
then they were
yeah,
like,
orchestrating it.
let's
yeah.
have a shot awkwardly where like Zach sits next to the dancers so that he can
Oh
be in
my
the same
God.
shot so we can get his reaction the whole time when everyone else is sitting on the complete opposite side of the room.
Yeah.
Zach, look pissed off and action. So
Literally. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I liked it
Yeah.
though
Poor.
because he if he was just acting pissed off, he deserves an Oscar. I really believe that his blood was boiling
Oh
and like
yeah.
he
Oh
was
yeah.
not in control.
Yeah. No, he was mad, I
So
think. Yeah.
maybe in terms of exposure therapy, that was successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Except but then he like yelled at the old husband and the old husband was like
Brett.
oh my God. He was just like, why
The
Oh,
old
am
husband.
the old husband who's
Yeah.
also like twice his
Yeah, he's like,
size
I'm
still, and
definitely the elder statesman of
Yeah.
all of the Mormons. So I just
he's like,
Yeah.
don't even
Oh my God.
try.
oh my God, that was amazing.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, what did he say that was so funny? He was like, you touched my wife condescendingly or
Yes.
something,
Yes. He was like,
as if he had like
well,
patted her on the head.
yeah, he was like, so you went after someone for touching your wife in a condescending manner, and then you touched my wife in a condescending manner. So do you understand why I was mad? I was
And
like, oh
everyone
my
was
God.
like, it's a good thing that you were in medical school and
No.
not
Yeah.
law
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
I
God.
know. I was like, none of this makes any
Yeah. It
sense.
Which I
doesn't.
think, like, also I like that they left it in the show where, like, the three of them were just, like, being bros and playing golf, like, not 20 seconds before.
Yeah.
So, like, clearly this was also, like, the producers were like, okay, but, like, you guys have to fight. So, like, 10 more minutes of hitting the balls, and then, like, you guys
Yeah.
have to have the fight, and then we'll
Yeah.
go. Like,
Yeah. 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 I know.
We
Oh
just
my
need that footage
God.
real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
so
can't even
true.
imagine what it's like to direct this show.
Oh my God. I think about that
know.
sometimes. Like, do they
I
have to
know.
redo, like, they do have to redo the shots. We're like, okay, you guys fight again? Like, can you go
Oh, of
back and do
course.
this? Yeah.
Like, we
Yeah.
didn't quite get it. Could you say this exact thing? Like,
But yeah, it a little bit. Oh my God. That's so true. Oh my gosh. It's a messy situation over there.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. And we haven't even talked about Taylor and
Oh
Dakota.
oh my
no.
God. They're like the
And
least interesting part of the show, except that Dakota has the craziest eyes I've ever seen in my life.
He does have crazy eyes.
I know he does.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
does.
I would say, I think they're just two people who should have been in therapy individually a long time ago. They are not. They are using each other in ways they're not conscious of to heal their own wounds, even though they're basically triggering each other all the time. And
Constantly.
they really shouldn't be together. Like their family is wrong in that they should, if they decide to get together in like 5-10 years, great for whatever. But they should, even though they have a kid together, they should not be dating right now. Like,
So are
that's
they're not married, right?
no. So she was divorced, and
Right.
like not like a month later started dating him, and
Okay.
then like,
But he was not involved in the swinging?
no, he's
Okay.
from Idaho apparently. So
They don't do
There's-
any swinging in Idaho.
I'm sure they do, but I don't think he was in that scene.
Is he LDS?
Yes,
I think he
yes.
is, right?
But he's
Okay.
also sober, so
Yes, he used to be an
Yeah.
addict.
He's a recovering addict.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's
I think like
interesting.
yeah, so maybe he's a lapsed LDS or something, but he
I
did
think
say
a
he wanted
lot
to
of
get
them are.
I know for sure Jesse is like officially
Yeah.
lapsed, like he left the church.
Which one?
Jesse, the hair
Jesse.
one.
Okay. The hair
Um,
one.
but
She was like, I need to get a job. And they were like, see you
yeah.
later.
Like, bye. Um, no, but I think he said at one point he would want to get married in the temple if they got married. So I
You're
think he
allowed to
is
get
part of
divorced in LDS?
yeah, they discourage it, but you're allowed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Interesting.
I think there are consequences
well, you
too,
heard what
because
Miranda said, right?
yeah, something about like
They're
sealing. I don't
sealed
really understand. Like
forever.
you get
Yeah.
sealed forever to your spouse, and then if you break up, like you're not sealed to your kids anymore.
Well,
Like it's a
yeah, so what
very
Miranda said, so they're sealed
Oh,
to each
but
other
she's
no matter what.
divorced.
Well, so her husband left the church
Okay.
entirely. And so, but because the kids are like connected through the patriarch side to heaven or whatever they go to, paradise, they
Sure.
the
Okay.
kids will be separated.
upstate New York. Back to
They
your
they
Wow,
hobby.
say
Myra.
they say they say that the kids won't go with Miranda because the husband left the church, so they're no longer sealed together or something weird like that.
So the
Yeah,
children
Okay.
cannot now go to upstate New York?
correct. Something like
So they go
that.
to
Something like that. I
purgatory.
don't know exactly how it
Oh
works, but
boy.
yeah, but I know
They go to
you can get
Florida.
divorced, but they
Oh.
think you're sealed to your first spouse forever. So, yeah.
And there's no annulment or anything like in the Catholic Church where you can just be like, just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
We never did it and it's
Yeah.
fine.
That is
Okay.
so interesting. So people do not get into heaven based on their own merits as a like a moral and ethical actor. They
No.
get into
Yeah.
heaven based on, like if
You
like
have a
what if
better
those
heaven.
children
You get a
like
better heaven basically. You get like more stuff in
oh my
heaven and
God,
more
this is
planets.
so complicated. Like how do people keep this straight? It's no wonder that like I don't know. I feel like the more complicated a religion is, and the more that you have to rely on like the leadership of the religion to like constantly be
Mm-hmm.
explaining it to you, like the more that like weird shit can happen.
Yeah, no, it's
Like,
true.
More, it's like a
It's true.
cult.
Yeah.
right?
Like,
I was really not
yeah.
like wanting to call Mormonism a cult because I'm sure that it works
I
great for
thought you
some
were gonna
people.
say that. I'm
No,
not
some
trying to call them a
people
cult, but like
love
what you were
Mormonism, and if it
saying.
works great for you, then great. But there's some very suspect practices.
Yeah.
Like with all
Yeah,
religions,
Yeah.
you
for sure,
know.
Yeah.
for
No, I
sure.
Yeah.
think if you can
Extremism,
take
yeah.
something meaningful from it and live like a good and ethical life, like I think that
Yeah,
that's great.
then go
And that's
for
what
it.
Yeah.
I want
Go
for
do it.
these Mormons. But
Yeah,
like, I do feel like
yeah,
it's become a barrier because of the way that they're raised. And they're just like, yeah, they're so sheltered and they're so like, their experience of life is so strange, which I guess is why it makes like a compelling
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, because they say some of them say at the beginning like they just didn't realize that not
yeah. They
everyone,
live like this. Yeah,
you know, is living
they
like
really, they
that.
literally didn't know that people drink coffee and don't have soda, and they're like, "Oh, people think it's weird that we have soda shops." Like, yeah, it is weird.
It's a little weird. I mean,
Yeah. I
not
mean, I
weird.
would
It's
take
I
one.
different.
If
mean,
someone gave like put one where I was living, I'd be like, yeah, I'll go to the soda shop. But like they're not yeah.
yeah, I'd frequent a soda
Yeah,
shop.
yeah.
Yeah, especially if they had like some sugar-free stuff. Like,
They have everything you could
yeah.
ever ask for, it seems, at Swig. You could
Sweet.
go.
But also, like, tea is really good. Like, tea is the most popular drink in the world for a reason. Like, it only has a little bit of caffeine. It's not that bad
Yeah.
for you. It's not
No, it's
bad for you
good
at
for
all. Like,
you.
I'm pretty sure it's like the best drink you can
I
probably
mean,
have,
let's be real. Soda is
health-wise.
poison. Like,
I know this is
I
not
know,
great,
and
guys. Yeah.
that's what just like blows my mind is like, so you're not gonna drink soda, like not them, but like the church saying like, okay, no like coffee, no tea, but
Yeah,
soda's
because the whole
fine.
point is
Like,
like your body is a temple and you shouldn't put things in it that are gonna make and it's like, well, soda's not
soda is
gonna
literally
yeah.
killing you,
It's worse than
so
the coffee. Yeah.
yeah, it's way worse.
Yeah.
I saw something on Instagram this week that said taking a Diet Coke out of the fridge is like having a refrigerator cigarette or
If
something.
only.
And I feel like that's how I feel like if I ever have a Diet Coke or something, I'm like, so naughty, so bad for me.
Diet Coke can't be that bad for you. Like
Like,
one of those.
but then coffee and tea, I'm like, yes, it's
Yeah.
good. Like, it wakes my mind
I like
up.
to think that it's,
It's
yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
you just get like the healthy probiotic soda, like Olipop. I personally like the. I don't like the cola. I don't
I
like the
like
cola. I like the
that.
cherry cola though. And I like the Dr. Goodwin, which is basically Dr. Pepper
Is it
coated.
like, it's
No,
in
it's not
what
that
way is
good.
it
It's not.
probiotic? Like, is
I
it
don't know.
like
They just
I
told
kombucha?
think
me.
it has
Oh, okay.
prebiotics. So it has like it might be probiotic, I don't know, but like the poppy stuff that they
Mm-hmm.
drink on that show and like I like that too sometimes and I think it has um stuff in it that's like prebiotics, so
Mm,
like it's food for the good
okay.
bacteria in your
Yeah.
gut.
Yeah. You tell us, Stephanie, because I don't understand how that works. If someone tells me it's in there, I trust them, which is probably a bad idea. But
Here's what I don't trust is how these women are consuming the amount of soda and sugar that they are. And the only other thing I have ever seen them eat on this show is cheese. Like, how do they maintain their
the mom talk
fitness?
It's
cheese
true.
that was shaped. Remember the cheese that was shaped in the mom talk by Miranda?
Oh
Poor
my God, they
Miranda.
eat so much
Wait,
cheese.
There
what?
was a scene. There's a scene in
Cheese?
season 2 where Miranda's having a party, and it was like a little desperate, admittedly, but she cut cheese into the shape of the words "mom talk." Yeah,
Oh
Somebody
and
did. Like,
yeah.
catering did.
I think
Yeah, like the producers went in
yeah.
there and they had
And
some
then
cookie
Michaela was
cutters,
like,
but
"That's so
anyway.
desperate," and it
And
was
she
pretty
ate
funny.
it. She ate the mom duck.
Yeah.
She's like,
Like,
"Whatever." Yeah.
do these people,
Yeah.
like, I don't understand how they look the way that they look. And
They talk about going to the gym a lot, so
yeah, I mean, I guess, like, this is the thing that having a lot of like TikTok money affords you is the opportunity to have nannies,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is, I feel
true.
like, what's
Yeah.
going on
Yeah.
here. You don't see the nannies, but I'm assuming that, like,
Yeah, there's
there's
Yeah.
got to
got to be
be
No, they
nannies.
did talk about them
an
once
army of
because
nannies.
do you remember when on the first season Jessie went on that girls' trip and her husband was like, who's a stay-at-home husband, was like, "Is there anyone to help watch the kids this weekend?"
Oh
And
yeah, are there nannies
she was like,
available?
"You're gonna be
Yeah.
fine." Like, yeah, it's
She's
weird.
very trusting.
Yeah, she's also like, I mean, I guess if it works for them, it works for them, whatever. But it just seems really weird to be like, for your husband to be like, I don't know how to watch the kids. Like,
Some,
no.
If they're a
if it's a
stay-at-home
stay-at-home
husband
husband, there's
too.
not really a good excuse for
Yeah,
that. Like,
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I know one parent who works a lot might be away more and be a little bit more nervous. I understand that. But he's a stay-at-home husband. He doesn't work. Yeah. So like, what
he's
is he
supported
doing?
by Mom Talk.
Yes,
I feel like there
literally.
are a lot of moms though who
Yeah.
it really is a point of pride with them to be like
Yeah, the only one.
basically like the sole caretaker and like
Mhm.
in control on a very granular level of everything that's going on with their kids, and they gatekeep a lot of the childcare from their husbands because that's where
Yeah,
they have
Mhm.
control and that's where
but
they have their power. And so they like then back themselves into this corner where like they can't leave their kids
mm,
at home with their husband because their husband like doesn't know
yeah.
how to make macaroni and cheese. So
I can
this is
totally
a
see
real
Yeah.
thing.
that. I don't think it. I can totally see that. I don't think that's going on with Jessie because she works in a salon, so she
Right.
can't do that. You know.
That's true.
Um,
No, he's just
but he's
fully an
just a
idiot.
doofus. Yeah.
Oh my God, all of these men, like I just can't believe that in 2025, and that's why I'm like, I do support this show because I feel like we're doing a public service, at least for the population of Utah, in
Hmm.
exposing the way that these people behave because it's
Yeah.
not okay.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like talking
Yeah.
down to these people, but like I do think that like people can't be in this world existing and acting like Zach Affleck. Like you just
No.
can't.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
grow
Yeah.
up. You gotta grow
Yeah.
up. Like, dude.
Yeah. It's just like, and I can't really tell if he's actually trying to make it be better in season 2 or just trying to not be so hated. Like,
No,
I
he's
don't
trying to not get divorced because
yeah.
he
She
gave
cares
up
about money.
his
Yeah.
career,
Yeah.
and all of the assets accumulated during their marriage are fair game in a divorce. So of course he doesn't want to get divorced
Yeah, that's
until
true.
it becomes absolutely necessary.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. He's so
he is
cringy.
cringy.
Ugh.
Yeah.
He reminds me of like, yeah, that's the thing too. I feel like these women probably like married the first person they ever dated, so they're kind of stuck in that
Yeah. Yeah.
wheelhouse, you
For
know?
sure. But I think when you get married that young, you have to be open to divorce. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, people change. You have to be okay with it.
It
I mean, in
definitely seems like
theory,
these people are
yeah.
open to divorce. Like there's a lot of
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Some of
Yeah.
some of
them,
them.
the quote sinners are.
Yeah.
The
Well,
Saints,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I mean,
I
like,
mean,
what's her
Michaela
face?
yeah, Jen got
Michaela got
separated.
pregnant before marriage. So did Macy. They both got pregnant before marriage. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they have
I
to
feel
have
like
some
it's
flexibility.
different strokes for different Mormon folks, but
Yeah.
it's, yeah,
Yeah.
there's, I mean, I feel like, yeah, there's so many implications of what's going on this show. And
Yeah.
I just,
I can't wait for season
Yeah.
will there
3.
be a season three? There was
Yeah.
a big gap between seasons one and two, right?
It wasn't that big actually. It was like a year.
Okay.
I don't think it was that big, but I think like the first
Yes,
episode and the
that was a
second
big gap.
episode in season
Yeah.
1, there was like a
Yeah.
big
They did it
gap
the
because
pilot, and then all of a
I,
sudden she was pregnant. Taylor was pregnant, like 8 months pregnant.
yeah, like things changed
Yeah.
drastically between but I think at the end of season 2, they already had footage for like something new because Jesse got accused of cheating
Yeah.
with
Marciano.
what's his name? Marciano. I wanted to say Marcello, but I
Yeah.
knew it wasn't
Was
Marcello.
that
I knew
the
Marciano.
Vanderpump guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was fully like Layla like went to
Yeah.
talk to him and was like what happened and he was fully like
Well,
just
yeah, who knows? Who
yeah,
knows what happened?
who
I think that
Yeah.
this is so
knows? I
interesting because,
mean,
like, I love when we get to see the like small differences between operating in the TikTok space and operating in the reality TV space. So,
Yeah.
like, the Vanderpump folks, like, they're very seasoned and professional at operating in the reality
Mm,
TV space.
yeah.
But, like, arguably, the Mom Talk folks are more successful in the
Mm-hmm.
TikTok space. And,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
those are two different skill sets. And,
yeah,
like, it's an
that's
interesting
true.
clash. And I think that, like, some people are kind of getting up to speed in season two of Mormon Wives and getting better at the reality TV aspect of
Yeah.
it. But some people
I
are
Yes.
just,
agree.
like, really struggling because they're like, why is this not like TikTok? And, like,
Yeah.
it isn't.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
essentially you control your entire narrative yourself when you
Mm-hmm.
are a
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know, self-directed TikTok entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And on reality TV, you give up full control of the narrative entirely. Like you could think
Mm-hmm.
that you're going to be the star of the show and then you end up being the villain. And if you don't end up being
Mm.
the villain, they will
Yeah.
make
Make
somebody
you
else
the
the
villain.
villain
Yeah.
and take
Yeah.
all your minutes out of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
show. And like,
Mm-hmm.
so it's
Yeah.
fun to see people learning to play the game a little bit. And then it's very also fun, not fun, but like, I don't know, endearing to see people like Jen Affleck who are like not like,
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's like Demi who just decided to
Well,
go full
she
like
was a little
villain.
crazy season one, admittedly. Like she was kind of just like yelling at people who are already down in season one a lot.
I know. Like she scared
Yeah.
me. I was like if I knew her in real life,
Yeah.
I would be like that's bad
Yeah.
news.
Gonna
I'm
stay
just not
away.
gonna.
so she is one who I think
Yeah.
has done her research and watched a lot of reality television and is like, I'm
Yes.
gonna be front and center and this is how I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it. And I think that that's great for her. I think that,
Yeah, she's throwing everything at the wall here.
yeah.
Tried to be the favorite, like and that one. Yeah, but she apparently behind the scenes like tried to get Jesse thrown out because she's like Jesse already has money or
Because
something.
they look
So
too much alike.
She's
She was
yeah,
like, we
I think
can't
that
have two, there can only be one.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And then she was also shit talking Jesse's
Yeah.
salon. She's like, they're only good at extensions. I
Yeah.
don't go for hair. Yeah, they're supposed to be best
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, if that's how you feel, fine, but don't like be two-faced about it, you know.
I felt like that was
That wasn't
not
okay.
a
No.
producer
No.
fabricated thing. Like I felt like that was real because she got caught off guard when
Yeah.
that was
And I
called
feel like
out. Like Jesse was surprised, she was
yeah,
surprised.
and I feel like Taylor is like the mess. Like, as much as like I do appreciate her self-reflective quality, she's definitely the messiest one, and will just like bring up anything that like happened and just be like, does not
Yeah.
care who sees it, and be like, no, well, you said this, and like,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. So, well, I'm excited to see what's coming next for the Mormon wives. And
Yes.
it
We
seems like
will keep our eyes on these Mormon wives.
yeah, yeah.
I'm super
Yeah,
curious.
I do wonder
I'm
if
super
something really
curious.
happened with Jessie, if she's gonna be, you know, um, still with her husband, her husband might kind of suck, but we'll see. I don't know. Yeah,
We
we
don't
don't really
really
Besides
know
her
know, but
anything.
husband, is he
Jordan, and he was the one who was one of the Chippendales guys, like the one who couldn't dance.
the little one?
Yeah.
Okay.
the one, yeah, the one
And he
Yeah,
like
no,
yelled really
who,
hard at
he seems like he sucks.
yeah, at Chase. He's like, take accountability or whatever it was. Take ownership. And
Is
it
he
was like
going to?
he like barely touched her. Like she's oh my god. He seems like the little like this is really mean, and I'm sorry. But he seemed like the little like yippy dog who's like at the big dog's feet, like, yeah, like take it, yeah. Like
Oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah, he
So
absolutely is.
oh my
yeah.
god.
But
Oh,
Oh my
well,
god.
I'm
no.
glad. I mean, look, good for them for finding their voice somewhere. The voices might need therapy, but I'm glad that they found their voice. So,
Yeah, I mean, they got their own reality show on
yeah,
Hulu. They got people talking
yeah.
about it.
And hopefully someday they will figure out about swinging and they will travel outside of Utah and learn what a prank is. And
Fry tea.
I
Yeah.
just can't wait to see. I feel like the
Yes.
world is their oyster. They just have
Yeah.
to,
Yeah, it
yes.
is. They can go to upstate New York, go back to where it all
Oh my
started.
God, they can make a
They can find
pilgrimage.
out what real swinging
Yes.
is. Like they can fully swing if they
No
want. I don't
soft
care. Like
swinging,
do what you
guys.
No
want.
more
Oh,
soft
look,
swinging.
They can
here's
do
my
the
luck.
full
On my
swing.
back. She's like, I admittedly I got a very late start today, and she has not gotten enough walking as she usually does, so she's probably a little mad. Sorry, I wasn't talking to the microphone.
We gotta
But
get
she,
this dog a
my
treadmill.
luck. She needs a what?
A treadmill.
Treadmill.
So I found what works best for her. We figured out a routine. I didn't do it today, so that's part of like my fault. But her routine is like,
What's her
if
routine?
if we can get her to the park, we walk to the park. It's a 20-minute walk. We throw around the ball for a little bit, and then walk back. By 10 a.m., say, she does great. And now she's chewing up. So I don't even hear, but she has a crinkly toy that she chews when she's mad at me. And she's chewing on it.
When she's mad at you.
Lilac.
I do feel a little
Lilac.
bit like you might be projecting that she's mad at you. Like, is there any?
You can tell. I promise. You can tell.
You just feel bad, Sharon. The
Yeah.
look on her face.
She's
was
literally
like...
pawing my foot right now. Come here, Babs. It's
She
okay.
just wants some love.
Yeah. All right. So, I'm gonna walk the dog real quick.
Okay.
I'll run.
Is that okay?
Okay.